Hello everyone and welcome back to the Torch. If talking about crazy daily life was a job, I bet some people would be more wealthier than they are even today. Because you see, there is one thing we'll never forget, and that is 2020. I am Elyse Ushindi, your host as always, and welcome back to the Torch. So let's get started. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the president of the Republic of Uganda and the only grandpa who is always full of surprises, fun, and always something new. This week, or rather last week, the president signed a declaration as required by the Registration Persons Act, where he went on adopting his childhood name and will now be formally known as Yoweri Tibahabura Kaguta Museveni. Now, with just less than a year to the presidential election, such a change will be a huge change because you see, all the opposition members for presidency and politicians were asked by the General Electoral Commission in Uganda to ensure that they have all their names registered to avoid losing nominations for the 2021 general elections. Now, I must say, that was a smart move by the president. See, after he did this, the Electoral Commission in Uganda asked all the members of parliament and politicians who think might want to run for presidency to register their full names, from documents of school to I don't know, to any, like, every document had to get their real names, and they had to adopt all their names. It doesn't matter when you got that name or where you got it from, but everyone had to get their names registered in full. In other news though, speaking of people who do surprising and amazing things, Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States of America and the only man whose beliefs are greater than anyone else living. After a week when he was diagnosed with the coronavirus, Trump was allowed to go back to the White House. Now, this was just last week. But as soon as he arrived, of course, you didn't expect anything less. Trump took off his face mask and posed for photos. Now, you might think, what's wrong with taking off the mask? Well, you see, the problem was that he took the mask off, and the White House is one of the busiest places on this planet. There are always people around there. Take, for example, the cameraman. You know, he had to be there, watch Trump taking off his face mask and then taking pictures and pausing. And you know what's funny about that? If you look at those images when Trump was, taking those pictures and how he was posing, he gave a salute and then he gave thumbs up, and then you're like, okay, why do you give the thumbs up, bro? but you wouldn't expect anything less with what Trump did. I wasn't surprised. To be honest, I wasn't surprised with what he did, because he is Trump. And you might just think, well, he lives in the White House, that's okay. In an interview, Trump was asked on how his condition was, and he said, it's just like the flu, and we're going to learn to live with it, and I think maybe I'm immune. I don't know. So, someone who thinks he's immune to the virus, a virus that has almost cleared everyone off the planet and off the face of this planet, someone who wakes up after 2 weeks thinking he's immune, I have no idea what to say about him. Like, totally. I don't have anything I can say about. But I must say though, he might be immune. He's been through a lot. Because if you watch the news, his fans say he's been through a lot. He's got a lot of experiences. And they added the coronavirus diagnosis and experience that Trump has gained. And if there is anything more crazier, but I bet everyone should have fans like the fans that support Trump, or the supporters, whatever it is called. Everyone is had to have such fans, such people who are going to be there and tell you, you know what? It doesn't matter what you're doing. We're just here for you, okay? What's crazier and what's most funny is that Trump supporters think his success is their success. Like, yeah, I bet Corona, I'm immune to Corona, so they think they're all immune. And then they start going to the rallies, not wearing the mask, and then you're just like, dear Father, help these people. In other news, this week, the Republic of Uganda opened up its borders again to the world. In his own words, Mr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the president of Uganda, said Uganda is now open to the world. I must say, after months of lockdown and almost a backslide in economics of this great of the country, this is great news for the people, especially when you're having elections coming ahead in less than a year now. May God help us, because that is absolutely awesome. Uganda is known for its beauty and it's called the Pearl of Africa. I've never seen a pearl, which is real bad, although I don't know what the pearl is. Guess I gotta go back to primary. But seriously though, that was some great news. After months of lockdown, 7 months, and Uganda is considered to be one of the countries that locked down, like the earliest lockdown happened in Uganda. Because as soon as they had, I think it was one case, they locked down the country for 7 months. And that was in March. And something like that is pretty good. With 2021 around the corner, everyone is so much eager to be there as soon as they can. But the question stays and is, are we really ready to be there? And will we still be alive? Because it seems like to me, Corona is not ready to go home. Of which I don't even know where it came from. So, sorry guys. Seems like this dude is here to stay. Speaking of which, there is still more drama going on in Uganda as we are heading to the presidential elections. But in the neighborhood, the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, there isn't even more and just too much going on. Yes, for months, people have took to the streets of North Kivu province, striking and seeking justice for the local women who were sexually exploited by aid workers from the UN's World Health Organization and leading NGOs during the 2018-2020 Ebola outbreak in the East. Now, after these allegations were placed, the government officials in the Health Ministry and the Ministry of Health spoke to the press, assuring that an investigation was to go in place, and at any chance, if the World Health Organization was responsible, there will be serious consequences and punishment. Now, World Health Ministers saying such words, I have no idea what it means. And it terrified me when I saw the news, because DRC is, it's my country, and sometimes I just feel like we're full of violence, and most times when you do something wrong to us, we just pray you're not the one, because if you're the one, it's going to be serious problems for you. So when the health minister said this, I was just asking myself, so what is it going to be? Like a bomb or a huge explosion? Or what is it going to be? I tried to ask myself what really happened, but I couldn't get it. So I'm just waiting for the great news, or whatever it's going to be. Because all this came along with a number of 50 women who reported to have been sexually exploited or even harassed in the name of giving them jobs, and of which even some of them got their contracts terminated due to failure of serving their purposes. Now, I must say, it's sad to hear something like this, because mostly we go to people seeking for help, but then the real person who you're seeking help from is the real person trying to mess your life up. That's something different, and it was just like heartbreaking and sad that the people think they're getting help, but they really need help. It's a complicated situation. People need help. They think they're having it, but still they need more. And there is nothing that hurts than injustice or just treating someone unfairly against their own will, against their own, it's just pissing off, okay? And this whole new thing isn't new to me personally, but I would never expect it from international aid workers. No. What are you guys trying to do? You go into these countries trying to help people. That's your job. You don't go for personal pleasures and get yourself satisfied. I don't even know why some people do this, but it's just stupid that people do it, And to be honest, when I was reading the news, I was so much terrified and feared for our people, because we run to such people for help, but then in the end, if the real people who had to be at our aid are instead causing us more harm than good, I have no idea where else we'd run to. And it was really, really sad, So I just hope everything goes on well. These ladies get justice, and the workers, I don't know, I just hope they get fired. That's all I can say. That's justice for them, because they brought this shit on themselves, But seriously though, we have to be doing some things, like we ourselves. And I must say, there is something that really pulled me together, and I feel like, yes, that is the power we need, because there have been a massive striking the parts of North Kivu alone, and I was just like, if we had such energy every time and understand that the power is for the people, not for the government or the president or whoever the hell feels like the power is theirs, maybe we could have a better country, a better continent. Because almost the entire Africa, people do not understand that the power is in their hands. A country is not for a president, not for a prime minister. No, these people are there to try and think for what's best for us. But we know what's really best for us, not them, So I was just thinking, and I was like, yeah, we need such energy. Please, God, give us more energy like this. Unity, the power to speak up, the power to stand up and speak what's in your heart, That is what people call democracy. But I call it unity. Because there is no democracy without unity. And in the end of the day, they're going to call you dictators. But there is no democracy without unity. So when I watched the news, how people were flocking the streets, I don't care about Corona for sometimes, because for a greater good, I think Corona understands that, okay, these guys are trying to do something great. I'm going to give them a break. And then I can come back later, guys. So, just do your thing. But guys, that was amazing. Seeing the people of DRC standing up and trying to speak what's in their heart, it was pretty cool. Well then, that was it for this week. You've been an amazing audience, and I hope to see you guys, next week? Probably, if there is still more crazy stuff to talk about. So, until next week, please do me a favor, don't get Corona, and remember, you should wear your mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't touch your nose. It's gonna be crazy for you, okay? Yes, just don't do it. Alright, it's gonna be stressing. You get Corona, you get your family killed, and the quarantining and all that stuff. So, until next Friday, I hope you all stay safe. I stay the best boy ever.